How is everybody doing tonight? So, FOMO Trader here, going to be going over two of the trades that I called out last night on my YouTube live, where the entry targets went off at what time, the exit I took, and the possible profits on them plays. We had a lot of pop and fades today. I got caught up in a few of them and broke a couple of my rules, and that is not what you want to do. I can't call the kettle black and preach to you guys and not follow the rules myself. That's not how this works. So with that, let's get started. So last night I called out Airbnb on my live, and then I posted the play to Twitter. So on this trade, I called Airbnb under $172.20 for the $170 puts. Expiration is April 8th. So if we look at the chart on this, on today at 12:15, we broke my entry target. Inside bar breakout below inside bar breakout level at the low, and at 12:15. So if you would have entered this trade right when that happened, when you got the confirmation, the 170, it should say 170 puts, ran from $2.10, and then at 3:25 they peaked at $3. So that yielded a almost 43% return on that trade. The other trade I want to look at that I called out last night was Mara. So Mara under 27.37, the 26.50 puts, expiration April 8th. So on this one, at 10:15 a.m., we got the alert for the inside bar breakout level under the low. If you would have entered the 26.50 puts at this time, they were 66 cents. And at peak, they ran all the way to $1.30. This hit all price targets and went all the way to the 78.6 extension. And if you look at the chart, it bounced directly off the 78.6 and came back up a little. So all price targets achieved. Profits on this, if you would have got in and got out at peak, was $64 a contract, or 96.67%. So that was two pretty good trades. The rest of the market today didn't really go in my favor, and like I said, I violated a few of my own rules, which is never good. Excuse me. How you doing, Mosh? So I have compiled a list of what I want to go over tonight. So the first one I want to look at here is Apple. So if we draw Apple here, we've kind of got a bull flag situation going on. So we got our big flagpole here. Then we got our flag formed. So that is on the daily chart. So we are looking for a break to the upside out of this bull flag. If this pattern holds true, they do not always hold true. And then we are going to be looking for new all-time highs on Apple. So all-time high is 182.94. We zoom all the way out, go back to 2011. That's as far back as my zoom will take me. So we're looking for a break above. We are above this resistance level here. Excuse me. So we're looking for a move up now. So I'm going to do it a little bit different on this. So we're going to plot, turn on magnet mode here. So we've got some resistance here. So 179.63. So I'm just going to put this at 180. And if we plot our Fibonacci from the low of today to the high, and then we zoom in, we can see that resistance is pretty much dead center in between the 38.2 and the 50%. But I adjusted it, and now if we put it exactly on top of that resistance with the magnet. And go back. It's right at about the 27.2. But I'm going to stick to 180 for psychological reasons. So to get a better idea on this trade, the weekly candle is exactly the same. So what we're going to do here is we have big upside potential here. So I'm actually going to look for, going to plot this leg here. Sorry, my mouse is freezing up. So we're going to plot this leg, and we have a bunch of room in between here. So right now we're at a low of about 175, and we've got to move up all the way from $1.80. So I don't like how that's going to play out. So we're going to plot from the low to the high. We're going to come back to the 5-minute. So we're going to look right here. Seems to be a major resistance area at the 50%. So over 176.50. So we're going to set this alert for Apple over 176.50. And if we look at the options chain for calls, and we count 3 up to our high, basically, which should be here, it's 178.50. So we can go with the 177.50 calls. Expiration April 8th. Price targets on this. So we're looking for a break above our 50% here for a retracement back up. So 177, 177.50, 178.50, 178.90, and our 5th price target would be 179.60, would be our home run. So stop loss on this. So we're entering on a break here. So we rode this support for a while. You can see the price bounced up, came back down, bounced up, came back down, then we finally broke through. So that's why I picked this support level here. So we're going to set our stop loss at 176 on the head. And our risk to reward on this trade. So if we go long here, and we're looking for a break above this level, so a break above 176.50, our final price target being 179.60, and our stop loss being 176 on the head. Risk to reward on that's a 6.2. if we draw our fib from the high to the low, we basically had the same play here. So we pulled back, and now we're looking for a break above the 50. So that is Apple to the upside on all-time highs. Now we're going to move to DWAC, President Trump's big baby here, that if we look at this on the daily, we are sitting on major support here. And we kind of broke under it. So this is major support area at 47.90, and the low today hit 46.65. So we broke below it. So then our next level of major support to the downside is 38.06, about 38 on the head depending on where you want to put it. So $38.06. So what we're going to do for this play is we're going to map it out just like all the other ones. We're going to draw the fib from the high to the low for the daily. Then we're going to come over here to the 5-minute. And we are going to look for a break below the low. So DWAC under 46.65. I believe we see more blood out of this one, because Trump even publicly announced that his app wasn't really ready for the big times yet. I believe I saw a news article about that today, that they can't keep up with the demand. So DWAC under 46.65, and if we count 1, 2, 3, 43.86, and then the fourth one's 43. So if I look at my options chain, I have a 43.50 put. Jesus, the IB on these is high, 243% on the implied volatility. That's high, but you can see big moves out of these. So 43.50 puts, expiration April 8th. Price targets $45.90, $44.65, $43.85, 43 on the head, and 42.10. Stop loss. We're going to come in here and we're going to pick a level in between, in the middle. This will be our stop loss. And that's 47.30. Risk to reward here under 46.65. Final price target being 42.10, I believe we set it as, and our stop loss being 47.30. Let me pull this alert back up. Make sure we got this right. 46.65, final price target of 42.10, stop loss 47.30. So 7. We got a 7 on the risk to reward. And like I said, I think if we break this major support, then the ask can just fall out, and then we haven't even reached the next major support level. So I'm going to be keeping this one on high watch for tomorrow. So I'm going to go ahead and post this trade to Twitter real quick. Alright, now I want to look at Facebook. Sorry if I'm a little boring tonight. I'm pretty tired. So Facebook, on the daily here, I don't know if I'm just imagining things or you guys tell me. So we've got, I turn magnet mode off. So we got one shoulder, second shoulder, and then we've got our head here. So we've got an inverse head and shoulders showing on Facebook. So it may not be a perfect head and shoulders, but that's what I'm seeing. And then we've got this potential for a huge gap back up here. So I am still bullish on this name. Gonna come in here. So this was support turned resistance. And now I'm gonna draw the fib. Come back over here to the 5 minute. That's just super tight. So today we had a false breakout, and this trade right here got me. It popped above my entry trigger. And I entered the trade and was impatient and didn't wait for confirmation, then had immediately selling pressure, and then the trade just went really south. Didn't stick to my stop loss plans either, so I lost a lot more than I intended to. So we're going to use the same, pretty much the same exact entry trigger here. But we're pretty low. I mean, that's 237. Right there, and we're all the way at 231. So we have bigger upside potential here. So let me delete this, and then so before we had a reversal. So we're going to look for a break here above the 232.65 area. So that area right here is this support zone. So if we look here, the 232.63 to 0%, we had a sell-off today, and this turned into resistance here. Then we popped above it, and this 232.60 level acted as support. Then we popped above it again, and it acted as support again. So we popped up, popped back down, close to that level. So that's the level I would like to use to enter above. So 232.65. And if I pull up the options chain and we go 3 out from there, it would be 233.65. I like the 235s better, honestly, for a possible gap back up. That's pretty far out. Price targets on this: 233.10, 233.40, 233.65, and this would be a good scalp play: 233.90. So that's just trading in this range that it was in all day. $10, $40, $65, $90 on the retracement there. Stop loss on this, we'll do 232.40. And our R to R on this play. $232.65. Final price target $233.90, and our stop loss is $232.40. 5 times your money. Mosh said, did you take the Tesla continuation play? Was going to, but NQ looked weak, would have gotten stopped out, so glad I didn't. So actually on Tesla, that is another one that I didn't wait for confirmation. I had a great day yesterday, and I believe mentally that boosted my ego this morning, and I took plays before I should have and didn't wait for confirmation, and ended up getting pretty much clapped today in the market. It was not a good day for me. But still, some of the plays we went over last night had pretty good outcome on them. So, like I said, Facebook, I like this for potential upside play from the earnings sell-off back in February. We've got an inverse head and shoulders showing on the daily, and I think we should see some good movement above 235.75, which is outside of my targets. We should get back into this gap up zone, and then blue skies from there. So Rblx. So this one is something else I caught somebody else posting on Twitter. So we were in this downtrend here, and we broke out of the downtrend. And right now we currently have this big bull flag formed. So we got a bull flag going up here, and then we have our huge flagpole. So looking for a potential break back up on Rblx. So this one, I'm probably going to go out to the weekly. Let's put what's the monthly candle look like? So if we plot the monthly, let me look at the daily. So yeah, that would be a breakout right above our flag level here. So we're going to put this at the high. So we're going to go from the low to the absolute high of that run. So we're looking for a play above 50.75. And I think this one could be a really big mover as well, just because it's been so beat down. And I believe Miss Pelosi, the GOAT, the greatest of all-time trader, is still holding her position on this. I don't believe that she sold from what I was looking at on Tradie Ticks. So Rblx over 50.75. Look at the chain here. We count up 1, 2, 3, 53. $53 calls. Those are cheap. They're only 43 cents a piece. And price targets on this: 51.30, 52.35, 53 on the head, which is our third, and 53.75, and our 61.8 extension is what I'm going to set the fifth one for, a 54.45. Our stop loss, don't want to make it too wide, so I'm going to come in here about the halfway point. We're going to set this immediately in between our entry and our retracement level, right there on that support at $50 even. Risk to reward on this is going to be a hell of a trade here. So risk to reward going long. Enter above 50.75. Final price target being 54.45. And our stop loss being 50 exactly. 4.93. Almost 5 times your money. So I'm going to post this one on Twitter as well. Also get the daily shot of the big downtrend there. Rblx broken out of down trend, looking for move back up with a nice bull flag breakout. Now I want to look at Rivian. So Rivian, also another ticker that's just been absolutely beat up. I mean, all-time highs was 179.47, lows recently on March 15th of 33.46. And right now we are sitting on a major support area. And I believe if we break this area of $42, we could see 33 pretty fast. So 33.16 is our all-time low. And this is major support. Well, it's not really major because there's not a lot of it, but this is about the only support it's got right here. So I'm going to draw my fib. Well, first I'm going to draw my high for the day. And then we're going to draw our low. And then I'm going to draw my fib from the high to the low to get a downside potential play. I'm going to come back over here to the 5. I'm not sure where the hell my other line went, but okay. So we're going to come back and we're going to look for a break below 41.90. So Rivian under 41.90. Look at the options chain for puts. And if we count 1, 2, 3, that's $40 on the head. So we'll look at the $40 puts. IV on these is about 95%. Price targets, we're just going to use our fib levels. So, whoops. 41.40, 40.55, $40 even. Nice psychological number. 39.40 and 38.80. Stop loss. We don't want it too wide, so I'm going to set it at 42.50. And our risk to reward on this trade so we're going to look for a break under 41.90. Final price target being 38.80. And our stop loss being 42.50. 5.17. 5 times your money. It definitely does happen, Mosh. Happened to me today on several plays. You just got to be careful and stick to your plan. That's the number one thing with trading. You got to be disciplined. Without discipline, you ain't got nothing. And it's not about hitting a home run every time. You're not in a race. A quarter-mile race. You're basically in a sprint. You're in a marathon. You're not in a sprint. You're in a marathon. Sorry, can't find my words. You want to be consistent. Nail those small trades over and over and over, and those small trades add up. So I'm going to set this alert. I'm also going to come over here. Going to tweet this. And I've got two more I want to look at, and then I'm going to call it a night. So Tesla, the one who pump faked me today, and I'll show you exactly what happened. So if we go back and I do a replay, first let me plot my levels here. So these were my levels. And if we go back and we do a replay on the day, so where is, so right here, 9:35. And if we can even look at it from a 3-minute perspective. So I was trading the 3-minute chart. If we come back here and we look at the replay, you can see that the price action at 9:36, we were below the high of the previous day. Then we popped above it. I immediately entered the trade once that trigger went off. I did not wait for the candle to close. I didn't follow my own plan. So we had a break, and then you see this huge wick here. This huge wick means there was a bunch of selling pressure. Algos, retail, whoever you want to call it, just sold off right there. And next several candles, bow, bow, bow. Trade just went south fast. Thought we were coming back up, and then big red death candle. So this right here is a prime example. You can break your entry trigger, but you need to wait for confirmation to make sure that the trade is going to go the way that you've planned it out from your due diligence. So this right here, this cost me a bunch of money today, and I'm a little upset about this trade, but it's my own fault. You are your own worst enemy when it comes to trading. So now if we come back and look at the daily on Tesla here, we're about at the same level, but we had pretty big sell-off today. I mean, Tesla was down 5% over $55 or $54. So one thing I like about Tesla here, we're kind of getting in the range of reapproaching all-time highs. It's a very good possibility. But on the daily, I am seeing somewhat of a bull flag still formed here. So it may just be me, but this still kind of looks like a flag formation here, even though we broke to the upside a little bit. I think we're consolidating, and we're going to break out a little bit more. So I'm going to set this play up for upside potential. Plot the high and the low. Draw our fib. We've got resistance right there around the 78.6 and around the 38.2. So come over here to the 5. And I'd probably take an entry on this trade going back to the upside, but I'm going to wait for a break above the high before entering this one again. So we need about a $70 move. So we need Tesla above 1153. So Tesla over 1153, and if we count up 3 targets, 1, 2, 3, 177.92, and the next one is 1185, so probably the 1180 calls. Expiration April 8th. price targets here. 1160. 1171. 1186. 1193. I missed one. 1160, 1171, 1177, 1186, and 1193. Stop loss on this trade. 1145 on the head. And risk to reward for upside potential. So we're looking over 1153, then 1193, and our stop loss would be 1145. 5. So hopefully tomorrow leading up to FMOC is going to be tricky to play, whether they're going to be hawkish or dovish. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I kind of feel like today already priced in what they were going to say, but I truly don't know. Sometimes they can give out real bad news and we have a big bullish run, or they can give out terrible news anticipating a big drop and it goes the opposite way. It doesn't work out always in the favor of what they say, and that ends up being the sentiment. Even with earnings, a company can do great on the EPS and the revenue and then automatically tank, or they can miss their EPS and revenue and rocket. It just doesn't make sense how the market takes it sometimes. And then you also have the algos buying and selling. The algos will read the FMOC minutes for certain words and trade off of that. So there's a bunch of different things to take into account, but I'm going to call it short here, guys. Not feeling too hot right now. Thank you for tuning in. If you found my video helpful, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. I would greatly appreciate it. I hope you guys might have been green today. See you tomorrow.